features of Hadoop 2.0. Hadoop 2.0 has introduced something called HDFS Federation. I'll not go into details right now because that's what is coming in the next set of files here. HDFS Federation. Then there is a support for name node high availability, which means name node is no longer your single point of failure. Okay, and then there's something called YARN. The classic MapReduce framework has been replaced by YARN, which is also called, which is acronym for yet another resource negotiator. So you have a better processing control. So your job tracker getting overburdened is taken care here. It supports non-MapReduce type of jobs as well, and it has support for multi-tenancy as well. We'll look at each of these one by one now. Okay, and in case you have any questions, just go and you can put them on Twitter as Ask Edureka, hashtag Ask Edureka. You will be able to get answers there. Okay, so this is how the Hadoop cluster architecture differ from your Hadoop 1.0 cluster architecture. So this is on your left hand side is your Hadoop 1 cluster architecture, which has a single name node and your multiple data nodes. And name node, as I told you earlier, does the block management here. It has all the metadata stored here in the memory of this system, okay, of the name node. What has happened in Hadoop 2.0 that instead of having a single name node, we have divided your cluster into multiple namespaces, and each namespace takes care of is taken care by a name node. So instead of having a single name node, you have multiple name nodes now. So the fact that you could have only 5,000 nodes in a cluster can be you can have now 15,000 or 20,000 nodes as well by using multiple name nodes. So all these name nodes are independent of each other. They map to a specific namespace on the data node. Say for example, name node 1 is mapped to your data node 1 here. Now what could be the application? Say for example, you have different type of data here. You have a marketing data which is stored in namespace 1. You have accounting data which is stored in namespace 2. You have customer is stored in namespace 3. Okay, and each of these namespace is independently working in the same cluster. So say for example, if you're not doing any processing on your marketing data, you can use the complete pool of resources, which could be your 15,000 nodes in the cluster, to run everything on the marketing data itself. So you get a better using this HDFS Federation. One, you take care of the horizontal scalability. Two, you can better utilize your processing resources as compared to your 1.0, where in such a case in 1.0 you need to have 3 clusters. This, and you cannot use one cluster cannot use the computing resources of the second cluster. In this case, by creating a federation of name nodes, multiple name nodes, you can do that as well. Okay, so this is how the challenge of your horizontal scalability beyond 5,000 nodes is achieved by Hadoop 2.0 using Hadoop 2.0 Federation. I've sent another blog through the organizer which talks about the Hadoop 2.0 features. You can read in more detail about this federation. You can ask your questions as well. Okay, I'll take questions at the end of it. Second thing, this is how now earlier I showed you the diagram for Hadoop 1.0, where you had the HDFS, you had the name node, you had the data nodes. Now the few more components have been added. This is how it looks like. You have the HDFS, you have a standby name node. I'll talk about that as well. And then you have, instead of MapReduce, if you see there was MapReduce here and a job tracker and task tracker was here, there's something called next generation MapReduce or YARN which has been introduced there. So we'll talk about these in detail. This is how the 1.0 differs from 2.0. So instead of MapReduce, it has YARN, and a few more things have been added on the HDFS side as well. Let's look at them one by one and look at what challenges do they solve. So here if you see, here if you see the challenge of having a single node for a high availability, single point of failure, what we've done is, instead of having a secondary name node, I hope it is visible now. Okay, instead of just having a one name node and a secondary name node, we now have 2 name nodes. One of them is an active name node, the other one is a standby name node. And they keep on, how do they share data? That what is happening here through a share edit log, which could be a network storage, and the name node which is active keeps on writing to this, and the other name node keeps in sync with these edit logs. And in case of a failure, something going wrong here. So I was talking about the introduction of the standby name node instead of a secondary name node. Instead of, in case of a failure, what happens is the second standby name node takes over. So you don't have to manually restart the system. Your system is, it is a hot backup as compared to your secondary name node. This is a hot backup now. So as soon as this goes for a toss, this fails, the standby name node takes over. So this is always a high availability system. Okay. So this is how the high availability is achieved in Hadoop 2.0. That instead of having a secondary name node which was just taking a backup, you have a standby name node which can act as a failover mechanism, which can at the same time take over. You don't have to restart your system. You don't have to you don't lose anything because all this data is synced here with the secondary name, the standby name node. Okay. Now let's look at how does the YARN thing replace the job tracker. We talked about the overburdened job tracker. So instead of just a job tracker which was doing the scheduling and the monitoring, now you have the resource manager which has two components. One is the scheduler and then is the applications manager. So what has happened now is that instead of just having one single thing, the job tracker for doing the scheduling as well as monitoring, we have divided into multiple components. One is the scheduler which keeps on scheduling the jobs, and the application manager which manages those jobs. And here instead of a task tracker, we have a node manager, okay, where you can actually go ahead in this node manager. This node manager manages the running of those jobs, okay, and now you can, and it is not fixed by a number of map and reduce slots. You can run any type of job here using this container. Okay, so this is the change here as compared to just having a task tracker and job tracker. You have a resource manager, so that overburdening of job tracker has been taken care by introducing a scheduler and an applications manager here. Okay, now let's go ahead. And so three major challenges. One was your scaling horizontally has been taken care by the HDFS Federation. Your name node high availability has been taken care by active and standby name node, and your overburdened job tracker has been taken care by the resource manager, which separates out the scheduling as well as the resource applications management. Okay. Now finally, one way